What's up, YouTube land? Today's video I was gonna talk about my favorite movies of 2009. I meant to make this long before now. I know it's like already in March 2020, and where I live, it just won't stop raining. It's kind of weird how much it's raining here. It never rains this much here where I live. In the background, listening to a little Killswitch Engage, their last album, Atonement. This is an awesome album. A little bit heavier than I think their last couple of albums. They're on Metal Blade Records now, which is really cool. I think they were on Roadrunner for a while. But yeah, I wanted to make some more videos about movies. I feel like I make a lot about music, but as much as I love music, I love movies. I probably get a shitload of movies every year. I'm sure my wife loves that, and music. But so I'm talking about my top 10, my honorable mentions on dishonorable mentions. Here comes my kitty cat. So she wants to check things out. She's loving the window right beside me. She loves going in the window, looking out. So, but she has nothing to do with me. As soon as I get like a video, she wants to like, hey, what are you doing? But I was gonna talk about, you know, some of the movies that I saw after, you know, 2018 that I saw that I liked and I saw afterwards, and I didn't put on my list because I just hadn't seen them at the time. I was gonna talk about those two, and some stuff I got that didn't come out this year. It's kind of old. They re-released it, and it gives me a chance to talk about it. Just stuff that that they re-released or I just now finally saw. It might be old, it might be new. It's just not from last year, 2019. And I was gonna talk about two books that I got this year, music books that I this is a chance to talk about, I guess. But I actually got this this past Christmas. I've been wanting this for a while. As much as I'm a fan of like horror movies, I'm like really a fan of like old and new. But I got this for Christmas, and this is really cool. It's got all the Universal Monster movies in there, and I thought that was really, really cool. I think it's got all of them in there. Let's see, it's got Dracula. I think it's got all the movies, all the Universal Monster movies. It's got Frankenstein. I think I've already had this one. I think I did a review on this, but it was just included in a box set. And I got The Mummy. And some of these I haven't seen. I'm going to have to sit down and watch them, especially around Halloween. The Wolfman. Let's see, Invisible Man. I know that one, in the original Invisible Man, that lady that keeps screaming. It's like so annoying, but kind of makes you laugh. But, let's see, Creature of the Black Lagoon. I think there's only 2 movies on here. I think the second one is the first movie Clint Eastwood was ever in. So I didn't know that for a long time. And then Phantom Opera, I think this is only included in the box set. I don't think you can get this separately. So that was cool. And they had it for a good price on Amazon. I got it brand new. And I think I put this in one of my pickup videos. And they got a book kind of telling about all the movies. A little colorful book. Really, really cool. I might have to read this one day. Just kind of look through it. And then I got 2 books that I bought this past year. Musical books. First one's about Jeremy Spencer from Five Finger Death Punch. He's actually not in the band anymore. It's called Death Punch. So it was really interesting to hear about his life. I know a lot of people kind of rag on this band. I could kind of see why some of their stuff's kind of cheesy, and they kind of come off as douchebags. But I mean, he seems like a nice guy, and they are a really good band. I really like their new album. I think I just did a review on that. And my second book, I don't know, a lot of people are familiar with this band, a lot of people aren't. And I think they're from Houston. They're still together, still making music. I don't think they've toured or put out an album in a while. But this band is really influential. Not really metal, maybe hard rock, but I love them just the same. And King's X. This is a really interesting book. I've never seen anything like this where it's got all these different musicians. Like, let's see, I think Scott Ian's in it. Kim Thrill from Soundgarden. All kinds of people from Jeff, one of the guitar players from Pearl Jam. They're kind of telling about how they met the band, how they got into the band. Bunch of other people. Billy Corgan, really, really cool. I think even Vinnie Paul's in here, maybe talking about it. And very, very cool book. Just telling they go through the whole history of all their albums or touring. Just them opening up for AC/DC in the 90s, and just like how everybody's told them they should be big and they never have gotten big. Really, really interesting book. But this is only probably way I could probably get a chance to talk about it. So I was going to dive into, I guess, my dishonorable mentions or this stuff I got in my mail. I guess there's not really a lot of dishonorable mentions. I guess I'm going to talk about the stuff I got in the mail this year. I guess I was going to go over maybe maybe some Scream Factory movies that I got in the mail, or they're now like starting to get out of print. Let's see. First one, I got this year. It's the first time I've seen this. This is in my zombie top 10, and Night of the Comet. It was cool. It was just kind of a cheesy 80s movie. That's why I kind of love it. I always saw it in the video store when I was a kid, and I always wanted to see it. But it was a pretty interesting zombie movie, I guess. I need to watch it again. I only watched it one time, but I need to watch it. It was kind of interesting. See, this one, I saw this on Showtime when I was a kid. And it's kind of like got like an anthology kind of horror thing. Kind of like in the vein of Tales from the Crypt or Creep Show or something. It's Body Bags. I think John Carpenter did this. I think he hosted. They got him painted up like a ghoul or something. I think it's 3 stories. And one of them's got, what's his face? Played Luke Skywalker. But anyway, I'm talking about Body Bags. I finally got this. It kind of didn't hold up very well. It's kind of cheesy. The one I really liked was the first one about this girl that works at a gas station, and that guy's kind of after like a slasher. I thought that was the only one that was kind of decent. Kind of reminded me of Halloween a little bit, but very cool. I mean, I'm glad I got another Scream Factory movie in my collection. And this, I was kind of hoping this would be a little bit better. This movie was really, really cheesy, and I watched it with my my wife and my parents-in-law. My father-in-law said he watched it kind of when it came out, and it's kind of really, really bad. I think the only redeemable moments are probably the last 20 minutes where the guy puts on the pig mask and he runs around with a chainsaw. I'm talking about Motel Hell. But yeah, like I said, the only maybe redeemable moments are probably the last 15. But it's cool to have it though in my collection. I love the cover. I think it's cool, but the movie was kind of bad. I'm so glad. I've been wanting to see it for years, and I finally saw it. And this movie I saw in the movie theater. I like Clive Barker stuff, but this movie is really out there. But it's got Scott Bakula in it. I think this one out of print. That's why I kind of got it. And this is Order of Illusion. So pretty cool movie. It's like this typical Clive Barker. Just really, really weird and out there. But I love it. I love one of the favorite movies of mine that he made is Nightbreed. I love it. I love the Hellraiser movies too. This one out of print too, and I haven't seen this in a while. I need to watch it. I watched the third one not too long ago, and it was like super bad. Fans have been waiting for years, and finally released it, and it's like sci-fi channel quality. But I do like the second one. It's not as good as the first one, but this one was supposedly supposed to get out of print, so I grabbed it. That's Jeepers Creepers 2. I dug this movie. I haven't seen it in a while. I need to watch it again. It's a decent sequel. Definitely not as good as the first one. These are kind of this is I guess it's kind of like a reboot, and I think I've heard people say that like these are bad, but I actually kind of like both of these. These are like a reboot, remake, and that's kind of stuff just gets so old. I think they need to do original stuff. They're like rebooting like everything, and it's getting this. I think it's getting annoying. Rebooting stuff that I love. It's a childhood. I'm trying to think what they're coming out. I think they just rebooted Fantasy Island, and I don't know. It's just like come out with something original. But the first one I rented and I really liked was Pet Sematary. I think I rented this and Us. I think I like both of them. I did like Us. I don't have it. I'd love to get it. But this was kind of surprised me. It was kind of creepy, but I really, really enjoyed it. it was cool. This one, this is like nothing like the original one. This is so different from the first one, and I just got the box set with all the movies in it this past year. But I actually kind of like this. It was different. I think it's done by the producers. It actually says it right there. But Child's Play remake. I actually didn't mind this as much as I thought it would be. I thought this would be really bad, but it really wasn't that bad. I actually kind of enjoyed it. But these next movies came out in 2018. And I was just going to kind of mention them because I didn't put them on my list because I didn't see them before they came out. So before I made my list, I didn't see them. The first one is, usually these producers make horror movies. I think they produced the new Halloween movie. They produced Get Out, Happy Death Day, and the Purge movies. And this is a really cool movie, really different. I wouldn't say it was horror, maybe more sci-fi. I think it had some horror elements in it. But I thought this was really, really cool. I'm talking about Upgrade. If you haven't seen this movie, check it out. It's really, really good. Good for a good watch. I was really surprised. You think you catch stuff every time you watch it. There's always a lot going on. I really enjoyed this. This was a cool movie, very cool. Um, this I love animated movies. I don't mind animated movies, but I kind of the previews they showed didn't really look very good, and I finally rented it off of Redbox. I was just kind of curious, and I think I'm a big comic. Much as I love music, metal, and horror movies, I love comic books, and I love comic book movies. And if they would have made this with real people, this would have been the best Spider-Man movie ever made, I think. And this is way better than the new Tom Holland Spider-Man movies. And this is Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse. I really enjoyed this. I thought this was really cool. Like I said, I think it was the best Spider-Man movie that they're like one of the best Spider-Man movies there is. I think this is way better than the two Tom Holland movies. But this is I was kind of surprised. I was really surprised. I thought they were going to kind of do this in Far From Home, do the kind of dimensional kind of things with the different Spider-Mans. I thought it was kind of what they were hinting, but they didn't. But very cool. Like I said, this would have been on my list in 2018. If I would have saw, I didn't see it until 2019, but very cool. This I wanted to see right when it came out, and I guess we just got busy. But this really surprised me. It's a comic book movie, but I feel like it's got like a Lord of the Rings kind of vibe, and I love the DC universe. I hope Henry Cavill keeps playing Superman. I know Ben Affleck's not gonna play Batman anymore. I think he's one of the best Batman movies on film ever. Like, I can't believe we live in a world where Robert Pattinson's gonna be Batman. It's kind of, I want to give it a chance, but it's like, it's not looking good, but it might be an awesome movie. And I said that about Ben Affleck when he came. I was like, oh, Ben Affleck is Batman? But I saw it and I was like, oh, wow. But anyway, this is that universe. And this is, I was talking about Aquaman, but I was kind of surprised. This was like really good. This is definitely one of the best DC movies. This is very good. I wish the Justice League that we got was this quality. I hope they one day release the Snyder Cut. But this is really cool. It's almost got like a Lord of the Rings kind of vibe than it does a comic book movie. And it's directed by James Wan. You know, he did a lot of horror movies like Saw, and I think he did the Conjuring and stuff like that. And I think he's just a great director. And this is one of the best comic book movies. I think I watched this like multiple times, and it's almost like a 3-hour movie, but it's really cool. Like I said, this would have been on my list totally if I would have saw it. I didn't see it until 2019. But this is the last honorable mention. I saw this when I was a kid, and this is definitely like a guilty pleasure movie. And I finally got it. Arrow came out with a version, and I got a poster and everything in it. And this movie's like so bad it's good kind of quality. I want to do a review on this, but I finally got this version. Me and my buddy rented at Blockbuster back in the day just to get a good laugh. And I'm talking about Killer Clowns from Outer Space. But this is such a cheese. If you're a horror fan, you gotta have this in your collection. It is not like an amazing film by any means, but it's just kind of funny. You get a good laugh, and it's definitely a blast to watch. I heard rumors for years that the guys wanted to make a sequel to it and stuff. That would be awesome. I hope they do one year. I hope it has an audience. I would definitely go see it. But so glad I got this in my collection, being a horror fan. But they cleaned it up, put all these special features. Arrow did a really good job. I think I got this in Reanimator this past year, and Arrow does really good jobs with them. I think they just put out like RoboCop and stuff. I'm gonna have to check that out. But this is my honorable mentions of movies I got in the mail. These are the movies that they're not in my top 10, but I did like them that I saw this year, and I was just gonna kind of talk about them. Some of these are like really close, and some of these I've been really excited about. They just maybe didn't meet up to my standards. Maybe they'll, like I said, maybe they'll change, in time. Maybe some of these I've only seen once. Maybe they need like maybe some multiple viewings. But at first, I love the first Godzilla movie, and I think this is even better. And I'm not like the biggest Godzilla fan, but I can't remember the three-headed dragon monster, but I thought that was really cool how they have different monsters. I think this is way better than the first Godzilla movie. I'm talking about Godzilla King of Monsters. I saw this around Father's Day, and I went with my father-in-law and my wife. My wife didn't like it. She said it was like a dick flick, but I actually really enjoyed this movie. I got it really cheap at Target not too long ago, but I thought this was really good. I can't wait to see Kong versus Godzilla, or whatever they're calling it, King Kong versus Godzilla versus King Kong. But this was like action packed. This is really really good. It really surprised me. I wasn't really expecting much, but that was King Ghidorah. That's it on the back right there. I was trying to remember the name of the monster. It's got Mothra, Rodan, and King Ghidorah, and very very cool. I love that scene where King Ghidorah comes down on that mountain. Is it that cross? That reminds me of like this old school horror or something. I thought that was really really cool. But I really dug this movie. I thought it was really good actually. This next movie I thought was actually pretty good. I hate that this series has come to an end because I have actually enjoyed these movies, this universe, and with the Fox deal, I think Disney bought Fox, so they got all the Fox properties, the Marvel Fox properties. Well, they have everything that Fox owns now, but they kind of bought up all the Marvel, so all the Marvel characters that Fox owns is going to start being in the Disney Marvel universe, and that includes the X-Men and Fantastic Four and Deadpool and Wolverine. But I think this movie had a lot of problems. This is like the last in the series, but I've actually enjoyed the X-Men series. I think all the movies. I mean, it's definitely had its bad movies like The Last Stand and Wolverine Origins, but it's actually had some like both the Deadpool movies I think are awesome, and of course Wolverine, Logan. I thought that was really good. But I actually didn't hate this movie. I think it could have had some more action scenes and more. Some of the deaths are probably anticlimactic, but I really enjoyed this. But this is none of my top 10. That's X-Men Dark Phoenix. I didn't hate this movie. It's kind of sad that it ended on this note. I think it needed like a epic conclusion, something better than this. But it was a decent movie. I enjoyed it. Definitely not in my top 10. I don't know if it would be in my top 20, but I did like this movie. I think I watched it twice now, and I liked it. There's some cool scenes, some cool parts, but I feel like these characters didn't get the send off they needed. And I thought Days of Future Past was awesome, but definitely being a comic book fan, I think this is cool. I can't wait to see what Marvel does with the X-Men properties. It's going to be interesting to see. This I saw in March this year. This seems like such a long time ago. And I didn't expect much out of this movie. As people I worked with said this movie sucked, but I actually went and saw it and really, really liked it. And I thought it was really good. And it was cool. It's set in the 90s, 95, which I was a teenager, and had all these music posters of bands that I liked. I thought that was so cool. And I was talking about Captain Marvel. I actually really enjoyed this more than I thought I would. And I was kind of surprised. I thought it was action-packed. I thought it was funny. It was just a fun Marvel movie, I thought it was really, really interesting. I do think Brie Larson's kind of cardboard acting. I think they probably could have picked a better Captain Marvel, but I think she does an okay job, and the movie's definitely good. And I heard a rumor that Henry Cavill might play Wolverine in the sequel. I don't know how true that is. That would be interesting. But I actually enjoyed this. I thought this was cool. Definitely not in my top 10 though. But this next one, people are probably gonna get mad at me. I love Spider-Man. Like, I love the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. I love Sam Raimi. I feel like I just can't get into these Spider-Man movies. I did like this movie. I do like Homecoming, but I think Spider-Man's better in the Avengers movies. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't like the direction. It doesn't, all those gadgets to me, it doesn't really feel like Spider-Man. Because I know in the comic book he makes all that, but they do get a lot of things right, how smart he is. But I remember I went to theater to see this, and the kid was like, this is the best Spider-Man movie ever made. I'm like, okay, well, cool. I can't wait to see it. And then I saw it and was like, that was not the best Spider-Man movie ever made. And I think the kids kind of get on my nerves, but maybe that's because I'm old. I don't know. But I'm talking about Spider-Man Far From Home. I did like it. It was cool to bring Spider-Man into a different country, and then he has a different bad guy, Mysterio. I thought Mysterio was a cool bad guy. I always liked him from the comic books. It's cool that he got a good movie to be in. I think they're setting up the Sinister Six, is what I heard. And I think Bruce Campbell almost played him in the original Sam Raimi. That would have been cool series. But I thought it was good, but it's not amazing. I think Marvel almost lost the license and back to Sony, but I think they kind of made a deal. We're gonna get more Spider-Man movies, but I'll definitely still keep watching them because I just love Spider-Man. I thought Spider-Man in the Spider-Verse was better than this, but it's still got some cool action scenes. Still interesting movie. I really, really enjoyed it. I heard they're making a sequel to Spider-Man in the Spider-Verse. But I think the sequel to Far From Home, they're gonna have Craven the Hunter, so that'd be interesting. Hope they adapt that storyline. You know, that was a cool storyline. The next movie is I think it's written by James Gunn, but I don't think he directed it. And this was really kind of surprised me. This was actually pretty interesting, kind of weird and creepy. It's almost like a horror superhero movie about this kid that has powers like Superman, but he's evil. And I'm talking about Brightburn. I thought this was cool. I got this really cheap on Black Friday, but I thought this was really interesting idea. And it's almost like at the end they set up like an evil Justice League. That would be kind of interesting idea to see, but you probably won't get a sequel to this. But I thought this was actually pretty interesting. I still liked it, but it wasn't amazing. But the kid was really evil though. But I actually enjoyed it. Not enough to be in my top 10, but I did really enjoy it. Cool movie. I think James Gunn's name is attached to it's gonna be up my alley. It seems like. This movie, I was hoping this would be a lot better than it was. I did enjoy it. It was definitely. I think the budget kind of hurts this movie a little bit. I think this Rob Zombie kind of released this independently. I want to do a review on this and all three, of like the trilogy. But this is like a sequel to one of my favorite horror movies of the 2000. Devil's Rejects. But I need to watch this movie again. I only watched it one time with my father-in-law, but I did enjoy it. And these characters are crazy as shit, and that's why I love them. And I hate that Sig Haig didn't really have much of a... I know he was real sick in real life, and he passed away during the making of this movie. But I wish he, Captain Spaulding had a bigger role. I'm talking about Three from Hell. I like this movie, but I just feel like it should have had... I don't know. It's kind of more of the same, but I maybe in my head, I was kind of blown up to be more than it was, and we waited for a sequel for so long. If you ever saw the end of the Devil's Rejects, you thought they were all dead, but it's cool. I love that it's set in the 70s. I think that's really neat and different, but I still really enjoyed it. It was a cool movie. I'm gonna have to watch it again on Halloween. I'm gonna have to watch all three of them together. So I love Houses with Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects, but this is a good sequel. This kind of didn't meet up to my expectations, but maybe it's one of those movies that grow on you. Like Devil's Rejects kind of grew on me over time, so maybe this will too. I think Rob Zombie is a good director. I think some of the dialogue is to be desired for, but I still thought it was a good movie. This didn't get in my top 10. All the movies that I watched this year, everybody asked me what I thought about Three from Hell. I thought that was kind of funny. But this is my number 10. I don't know how many people just said this movie sucks. Like they didn't like the movie, and I really wanted a trilogy out of the original with Ron Perlman and everybody, but I still want to give this movie a chance, and I think David Harper did a really good job. And it's not as bad as everybody says it is. I'm talking about Hellboy. This is a reboot, kind of. It could have been a sequel or prequel, kind of the way they did it. But I thought this was actually really good. I actually watched it, didn't expect it much, and I was really surprised how good it was. I really dug this movie. I watched it twice now, and how the old Hellboy 1 and 2, the old ones, they kind of it's PG-13. This is kind of like a hard R. It's got gore and profanity, and it's kind of got more of the horror elements and stuff. And it's got some mellow in it. It's got Alice Cooper, who else? I think Motley Crue. I can't remember who else they play, but I really dug this movie. That was really cool. I'm going to have to watch it again. I really enjoyed this movie. I wish they would have completed the trilogy and then made this, and then we can have two awesome movies. But I mean, that's just not life. I think Hellboy and the Golden Army did really bad. That's why we never got a sequel to it. But this is good too. It's not as bad as everybody says it is. I really enjoyed this movie. I was kind of surprised, and I rented it out of the Redbox. I went back and bought it, and at Wally World they had it really cheap, and I really liked it. I watched it with my father-in-law. I don't know if he liked it or not. He didn't really say, but I enjoyed it. Let's see, my number 9 movie. I just saw this the other day. It's a sequel to like a classic Stephen King book and a classic Stanley Kubrick movie. The dog barking. But I didn't expect much from this, and I really enjoyed it. It was creepy. It's 3 hours long. It's creepy. This got a good story. The acting is good. And I'm talking about Doctor Sleep. I actually thought this was actually really good. Didn't really expect much, but I think I watched it with my father-in-law, and he really liked it. I think I fell asleep and I had to start it and watch it again, but very good, very creepy. It's got a good story. All the characters are good. All the acting is good. If you kind of dismiss it because it's a sequel to The Shining, don't, because it's actually pretty decent. I really liked it. Really, it kind of went on the radar. I think it did kind of bad, but I really enjoyed this. I thought this was really good. Like all these movies I'm talking about, I want to do a review soon. I meant to do a review. This movie kind of surprised me too. I wanted to see this in the movie theater. Came out around my birthday, and I just didn't go. I was hoping it would have like a Guardians of the Galaxy kind of sense of humor, and it kind of does. It's kind of more for kids, but I really enjoy. I like the DC universe. I hope Superman shows up. He kind of showed up at the end, but it kind of cut his head off. I don't think it was Henry Cavill. I'm talking about Shazam. I actually really like this, but I heard the sequel's supposed to have Superman in it and The Rock. I think The Rock's playing Black Adam, but this is a really cool this is a really cool movie. This is a fun superhero movie. I really like the DCU. I hate that they're changing things. Hope they're making it in the right way. I don't know how they're gonna explain certain things in DC, like why Batman's different now, why he's a sparkly vampire now, but it might be cool. But anyway, I actually really enjoyed that. I watched it several times. Just kind of get bored and put it in. It's just a fun movie. Really cool. I think everybody does a really good job. I can't wait to see the sequel. The sequel comes out next year along with Aquaman 2, so that'll be a good year for DC movies. I think Wonder Woman comes out in was it May or something like that? That'd be good, or June or something. But I hope DC movies this kind of get their act together. But this is my was it number 7 movie, and this is a sequel to like a trilogy, and I didn't know this was coming until I saw Split. I didn't know that this was in the Unbreakable universe, and I hated the ending, but I did like the movie, and it's definitely growing on me. But it's kind of, the ending's kind of anticlimactic. You think it was just gonna be this huge blowout, and some of the characters I love died, and I'm just like, what in the world? In the weirdest, most ridiculous ways. I'm talking about Glass, but it's a really well made movie, and I thought it was really good. It just kind of sucks that some of the characters had to die the way they did. Well, pretty much all the characters died, but I still enjoyed this movie. I love Split. I think James McAvoy is just like an amazing actor. Just to do all those personalities is just like amazing. But I still like this movie a lot. It's definitely, I like it better with repeat viewings and stuff. But yeah, it was cool. Like I said, I hated the ending. I was all into it. I saw the ending, I'm like, what in the hell was that? But I still liked it. Let's see here. This is my number 6, and this is a continuation of Marvel. This is my only Marvel movie, I think, on this list this year. Surprises me, but this is really good. Real good send off to some of these characters, and God, this is what, 20 years in the making. But I thought this was great. I'm kind of surprised at some of the characters, what happened, but still about 3-hour epic superhero movie. I really enjoyed it. Avengers Endgame. But I still liked it a lot the same. I thought it was a good. I think they should have just called it Infinity Wars 2. I don't know why they changed it to Endgame, but I guess I kind of get it. That's kind of what Doctor Strange said at the end of Infinity War. But this is a cool send off for some of these characters. I really dug it. Very cool. I never get tired. I love the Guardians of the Galaxy characters. I just think they're really more interesting than some of these characters. But I dig it. It's gonna be interesting to see what Marvel does, because this is kind of like a what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of like a period on the Marvel kind of saga. So it's gonna kind of be interesting to see where some of these characters go. I know they're coming out the Black Widow movie, and that'll be interesting. That's got David Harbour in it. You know, that's from Hellboy and Stranger Things. So that'll be interesting to see where that goes. Number 4. I love Quentin Tarantino. It's always like an event when he comes out with a movie, and I thought this movie was okay when I first saw it. I was kind of disappointed, but I watched it again, and I love it. It just cracks me up. I think Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt are great in it. I'm talking about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I I really enjoy this. I mean, they kind of changed some of the events. It takes place in the '60s, but very, very entertaining. It takes place around the Manson murders, but really, really interesting movie. With the fictional character, that's kind of cool. But I really dig it. It's the characters that play Bruce Lee and Steve McQueen, the actors, they're like spot on, and it's just hysterical. It's almost like very got a lot of comedic things in it, but very cool. I mean, you kind of know what you're gonna get with Quentin Tarantino, the sense of humor and this kind of the quirkiness of it all. But I really, really enjoyed this. This is my number 4 movie of the year. No, I'm sorry, it's my 5 movie of the year. I really did enjoy this a lot. This is number 5. This movie was like huge for DC. I've got 3 or 4 DC movies in my list, but this is a really dark ass movie, and I didn't really know what to expect. I went and saw it, but I really enjoyed it. It's just getting all this praise, and it's kind of, I think it kind of reshaped everything in the DC. Joaquin Phoenix did like such a good job, and I'm talking about the Joker. This is really, I think they're making a sequel, and I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed this a lot. Kind of wasn't really expecting much, but I was kind of blown away. It's really well made, and the acting is like amazing. Kind of set in the '80s in Gotham City, and Batman, Bruce Wayne's actually in it. I shouldn't say Batman, but young Bruce Wayne's in it. So, but this was really, really good. I'm about to watch it again. I've only seen it one time, but I really, really enjoyed it. Really well made. I hope DC keeps doing stuff like this. It's really surprised me. I also have number 3 movie. This is like chapter 2, I guess, of this is actually my second Stephen King movie, or a movie based on his books. But it's kind of a sequel, kind of a continuation of the first It movie. I thought the first It movie from 2000s, not the one from when Tim Curry, I guess it was the original one from the 90s, but I'm talking about the newer ones. This is a continuation. This is kind of in the book. I don't know if you know the It book. They kind of separate into 2 parts, where the first ones were when the characters are kind of kids, and then the second part they're grown up. And this is the movie where they're grown up, and they kind of continuation of trying to get rid of Pennywise. But this is really, really well made. I was kind of surprised. Well, it won't be as good as the first one, but it was just as good, and really long. I think it was like 3 hours, but I really, really enjoyed this. Really, really well made. The characters are great. James McAvoy's in this again, and I can't remember the guy from Superbad. It's real funny. It's in a lot of movies, but this is really good. Kind of surprised me how good it was. I was kind of surprised, but very, very good. I really enjoyed it. This is my number 3 movie. This movie I just saw, my number 2. I just saw like maybe 3 weeks ago. This is a sequel to a movie I really liked in the early 2000s or later 2000s, 2009. But this is really good. I watched it twice already, and I thought it was great. And I'm talking about Zombieland Double Tap. This is really, really funny. I wish I saw this in a movie theater, but I hope they make some more of these. This kind of seems to be humor and horror mixed with horror. I think it's just hilarious. I didn't really expect much. I was like, they won't top the first one, but I think I like it just as well as the first one. Very, very, very cool. That's my number 2 movie, Zombieland Double Tap. This is my number 1. It kind of took a lot of consideration. When I first saw this movie, I thought it was good, but it's just got a lot to live up to from the first 2 movies, and they kind of after the second one, they kind of like the sequels didn't happen. It's like the first one, the second one, and then this one. And the first time I saw it, I wasn't too crazy about it. I bought it and watched it again, and I really, really liked it. And I think this is my number 1 movie of the year. And I thought it was this Terminator Dark Fate. I thought this was really, really good. I love the Terminator movies. I love the first 2. Terminator 2 is like one of my favorite movies of all time. I think it's one of the best sequels of all time. And this movie really grown on me. I think all the characters are great. Of course, Sarah Connor, Linda Hamilton's back, and she's still a badass. She's like a grandma badass. But Arnie's back too again, and he kind of doesn't show up till halfway through the movie. They changed some things I didn't really like, and I kind of just come to accept it. But it's got the vibe of the first 2, and that's what I've been looking for. It seemed like the sequels, like 3, 4, and 5, didn't really have the vibe of the first 2, and this has got that dark vibe back, I think. And it's got a good story, and it's got a lot of cool action. The guy that plays the Terminator is really, he's kind of got the T-1000 vibe, and that's what I really liked about it. But like I said, I've seen it 1 or 2, 3 times. I think this is definitely one of the best Terminator sequels after the second one, but it's definitely not as good as Judgment Day or Terminator 1, but they're still really, really good. It's kind of, it feels like it's the third entry, kind of. It's kind of the, like they said down here, the Terminator movie you've been waiting for. It kind of is, and they definitely changed some about the mythos, but it's still very, very entertaining, very good. Got a good plot, good script, the acting. I think this is Arnie's best acting playing a Terminator since the second one. I think it feels like that Terminator from the second one, but I haven't seen it. Give it a chance. It's kind of, we had like some kind of 80s movies franchises come back. We had Rambo last part. I thought that was kind of lackluster. I expected a lot from that, and it was just okay. But I thought this was really good. I don't think it did very good. They were planning a trilogy. I don't think this movie did good. So I think it kind of killed the trilogy. Probably killed Terminator Forever. At least we got these three. And some of the characters are kind of annoying. I thought Grace and the girl that was kind of taking over for John Connor, they were kind of annoying. They probably could have got somebody better, but Sarah Connor and Arnie are great in it, I think, and the Bad Terminator is really good. But that's my #1 movie of 2019. Kind of doesn't look like there's a lot of good movies coming out this year. I hope there's, I know the Halloween sequel's coming out. That looks really good. I think there's 2 Halloween sequels coming out. They're making them back to back. Hope that's going to be good. But that's my movies of 2019. Hope you like them. Like I said, I'm just doing this for fun. I meant to do this a long time ago. I'm doing some more reviews soon. But thanks for watching my video. Cheers.